Hello, Taurus. Hi, this is Marta with Universal Power Tarot, and these messages are supposed to encourage, elevate, and empower you guys. Hi, my friends. How are you? If you're new, welcome. If you've been here for a while, glad to see you back. Please like, share, subscribe if you feel so inclined, and if you wish to receive messages whenever I publish new content, please hit the bell button with all. Taurus, what I was getting for you previously to starting the camera was quite interesting because there's a revelation that's on its way to you. I just recorded your healing chanting as well. You'll feel it. No, you'll find it attached to your extended. It's very interesting. You come in very much from the heart here because there is something about forgiveness. And that was interesting because, and I'm going to read your channeled messages for you. What I was getting is forgiveness is on your mind, but you don't quite know how to do it or how to. The next thing was paying it forward. So maybe someone forgave you and that opened you back up to this idea of that forgiving is a good thing. It frees you. And the forgiveness from the other person may not have necessarily been on the physical plane, but could have also been energetic. You know, if someone is doing ho'oponopono and is including you in their prayers, or has forgiven you for things that you may have done, right? And those without sin, I want to just say this here because this goes without any judgment whatsoever. Those without sin cast the first stone. We all in our journey here on earth are somewhere along those lines hurting someone. So what I was getting specifically for you, someone forgave you, and this opened you back up to the feeling that it could be a good idea to forgive. And funniest thing, we have the forgiveness card here for you. So holding on to a past hurt is preventing you from moving forward and achieving your heart's desires. Let it go. Forgiveness does not mean that you condone another's actions. It simply means that you are no longer willing to be a perpetual victim to a particular person or event. Blame is a waste of your precious energy. Bless and surrender the past, for in doing so, you will reclaim the joy of life. And along with this, you got Virgo. I analyze. And we have like an angel here, and we have crops here. So reaping something, number 18. And it's interesting because the message of this card is do not anticipate trouble or worry about what may never happen. So, too much in the past, too much in the future. Keep in the sunlight. That's something that Benjamin Franklin apparently said. Worry and organization are the key traits of the sign Virgo and of this card. So, you may particularly be taking on Virgo-esque energies at this time. You may also have strong Virgo in your card. Virgo is picky and exacting. They can be insanely organized. They are very helpful to others. They tend to be critical, but usually this criticism is applied to themselves, and this is where it comes in. They're conscientious and highly intelligent. This is when the forgiveness card came together for me, and this was such a huge aha moment because first of all, when I received the written channeling, I thought it was about another person, and it could very well be, but then you all of a sudden come into the realization that you need to forgive yourself. And with that, I got strong, and again now, forgiveness of self, I got strong throat chakra. And as I was reading this, I swear to you, because I wrote down forgiveness of self and then the throat chakra, it wasn't there. It's interesting. It's almost like spirit blocked me from reading further. I thought it was completely done. I was blinded to the forgiveness of self and the throat chakra. And right now that my throat chakra is acting up again, I saw the forgiveness of self and the throat chakra that I had written down. So this is something that your view, Taurus, was completely blocked from. And I'm getting the feeling it was meant to be that way. You were meant to stay in a sort of a cocooning state to then wake up out of. It's like an instant kind of a realization for you here that either has happened to you or it will shortly happen for you, where you realize, holy shit, I need to forgive myself, because then you can really let it go. And also how forgiveness is tied into yourself so much. It at times is not even necessarily about the other person at all, but much rather so you can just be at peace, that you can have peace of mind, peace of heart, these types of things, right? And we're going to get deeper immersed into this, and I'll see what else I can get for you here, Taurus. Are you ready? Let's go. Let's go. If you feel like this reading is resonating with you, please give it a thumbs up if you could be so kind. This one, no. Yeah, I thoroughly shuffled the cards and I cleansed them with sage before. This was actually Aries card. So we'll try this again. Here we go. No, not again. There we go. No, not either. Interesting. We have 3 cards out now. Yeah. This one, interesting. For those of you that are new, that's how I work. I don't necessarily pick up what falls out, but I always ask if this is for you too, just to be sure. You have the King of Cups, who is a ruler over their emotions. Very interesting in combination with the Virgo card here, because Virgo is so much head-based anyways. And then we have here the King of Cups, though, who is the contrary, who is very much in their heart, but also someone, that knows how to handle their emotion, that not necessarily needs to show them, but only to who you choose to show them, right? So you may have that trait, or you may have acquired that trait, that you're not necessarily giving your emotions away to just anyone, as you may have done this before, but it didn't serve you too well. I'm almost getting judgment with this card. So divine law over man's law. Sitting very firmly on your throne. It's not very much can shake you up anymore, because you must have been through quite a bit here, Taurus. And it's like you're sitting firmly and stable on your throne. Before you may have felt like a leaf in the wind, like external factors could have swayed you from one side to the other, but now, not so anymore. Both feet on the ground, very connected and rooted into Mother Earth. If that's not how you're currently feeling, there's a sign for you to connect yourself with the earth, to walk barefoot, or if it's cold where you are, just put your bare hands on a tree and allow yourself to connect with that tree. But it definitely has to do with forgiveness, with letting go of how others perceive you, Taurus, like entirely. And forgiving yourself for the times where you weren't true to yourself, where you, out of necessity, needed to become another self, another person, or a mask, pretend to be something or someone else, only to come back to your very authentic self here. And there is a process of, again, of forgiving yourself for that, for, almost like neglecting your true self here. No, yes. Oh my God. Flower of Life. I love this one. This is great. This is talking about sacred geometry. It's letting go of any ego, basically, and focusing on the greater good for all. Wow. Wow. Now, this has just become really powerful. That combination with the King of Cups, this is denoting to you, being in control of your emotions. And then the selflessness that comes in with the Flower of Life, along with the forgiveness. You know how when we're living through certain life situations, and before we may have not been able to understand a person or the motives of another person, and all of a sudden life forces us to look at our own shadow self, and then we realize, wow, I am quite capable of doing the same thing that the other person did, or I have the opportunity, or I'm at a crossroads right now, right? Taurus, you may have been at a crossroads where you had to choose. You could see yourself falling into a certain pattern that from the other person, that could have been a parent, or a partner, or someone else in your life that left an impression on you, but you chose the other path, right? You chose the selflessness. You chose a path that does not hurt other people. But you do understand that point now, if you understand what I'm trying to explain. So it's really like going through similar circumstances that make you ultimately understand the person better, that leads you to forgiveness of the other person, but also of self. That leads you to understand better. It's much like when a child looks at a situation, or how do you call it, when it's like when you're growing up into adulthood, but you're not quite an adult yet. And then you have a different perspective, and then you have yet another perspective when you are an adult, let's say 20, 30, 40, whatever, right? But your perspective of things is changing and has changed so much to the point where you can understand others a lot better now, and that has to do with compassion and with the forgiveness here. Yeah. What else, please, for Taurus? Thank you. Ha ha ha. Wheel of Fortune, another powerful one, because the Flower of Life is a major arcana, and so is this one. The Wheel of Fortune is like something is turning for you, and it's turning in your favor. It's definitely turning in your favor. Some of you have a strong connection to ancient Egypt. There is a transformative process that you're undergoing. You may even feel like this lifetime there's a lot of transformative processes that have been going on in your life. So a lot of not necessarily easy circumstances have occurred in your life that prompted you to grow like in a major way, and it may feel like you've lived several lifetimes in one lifetime. And I found that this is usually occurring in people that actually have lived a lot of lifetimes, and that they're quickly recapping basically a couple of important lifetimes so that they can acquire the gifts but also the challenges of those past lives. But it happens really fast, really quickly. It's very interesting. These people live very interesting lives, but not necessarily the most easy ones up until a certain point, up until they realize, up until you realize, Taurus, why you're really here, what your mission may be, or till you kind of like find your place in this world. And the Wheel of Fortune is denoting to an event. It's a meant to be, and it's out of your hands. Much like I said here with divine justice, divine justice over human laws. And that's interwoven here with the Wheel of Fortune, right? It's turning, and you don't necessarily know where it's going to stop. So there's also uncertainty, or a sense of not knowing what the future is going to hold for you, which brings us back to the Virgo card here, not to worry about the future too much, because it looks like to me, this is right now anyways, a little bit out of your hands. It's like something that's predestined, and even if you pushed yourself up against it, it will still come about, because it's in the realms of contracts, right? It's in the realm of contracts. Okay, let me see. Another card? Yeah. Okay. We'll pull one from the angels and ancestors for you here, Taurus. And then we'll take it over to the extended after this to inquire a bit more, especially about the Wheel of Fortune, I feel. Like what wants to come through here for you. Let me see. What else do we have for Taurus, please? Thank you. This one, no. This one, yes. This one, no. Okay. You have the Shield Maiden, make plans and focus. Ha! This is so Virgo-esque, right? To make plans and to focus. Interesting. She's the youngest of the three. I forgot it. Mother, Maiden, and Crone. It's not Mother. It's like the young girl, the maiden. Oh, the maiden, the mother, and the crone. That's what it is. Yep. Of course, it even says it on the card. Okay, Shield Maiden. Have a plan or strategy in place before moving forward. The Shield Maiden is the female knight in shining armor. In Viking traditions, women were seen as equal to men, and so joined them on their raids and fought with them on the battlefield. In this deck, the Shield Maiden brings a fiercely feminine energy, the power to be a warrior while retaining feminine sensitivity. She is ready to put her plans into action. She's ready to go into battle. Her medicine helps us move beyond any unsettled feelings when our plans start to take shape, and follow through with our strategies in order to be where we want to be. Shield maidens work together in times gone by to create shield walls of protection, so she also shows us how to work with others in order to bring our plans to fruition. Taking some time to assess what your next steps will be, Taurus. All great warriors have a plan. You are a sensitive being, and if you're not prepared for the tasks you are taking on, you could end up feeling exposed and helpless. The ancestor guidance that is coming to you now is a reminder that you have a warrior's heart, and that you have it within you to be more prepared and focused than you have been recently. So have a strategy in place and then let your guides support you as you move forward. Now, this could be triggering to some. I understand. I understand. But it's still like a good reminder. Sometimes we don't understand immediately what Spirit wants to tell us with this. But then a couple of weeks later, or maybe even a couple of days later, you'll totally understand what is meant by that, and that you could indeed focus a bit more on certain areas in your life. Sometimes you already know, but other times you may be saying, I already made plans. If you did already make plans, then this is a confirmation for you. All right, my dear Tauruses, I really hope this was helpful and or insightful to you. If you would like to know more about your reading and about the energies, please follow us over to Patreon. Link is down below in the caption, and I'll either see you there or next time. Bye, my friends.